Welcome in to BTC episode 10. It's Friday the 13th. Obviously this is going to be coming to you guys about a week after that. But we're going to bring you guys some great content about Detroit Become Human. We're going to do some spoiler cast, forewarning you.
Filled with spoilers. So
yes.
many. So many.
So if you don't want to hear that, stay anyway because we really need your views and every view counts. So that being said, welcome in. I'm your host, Joshua J. Today joined by me,
Obsidian Hood.
and we're gonna be going through both our stories, and everybody has almost a different ending. There's multiple ways you can end Detroit Become Human. We're gonna talk about our two ways. My way's better, in my opinion.
Oh. No. Mine's better.
I support freedom.
You know what?
Yeah, he didn't have to come back. Anyway,
Mine wasn't as sad.
that being said, I want to tell you about our sponsor real quick, Sam from Samtastic LLC. He does all the lighting, all the video, all the editing for us. It's great. We really appreciate him. Check him out if you have anything going on, like weddings, just want some pictures for your graduation, anything like that.
Business
cards.
Oh,
Yeah.
Alright. Wow.
He left one outside. Oh, dude, these are new ones. These are nice ones. Yeah, look at that. I don't know if it zooms in on that, but he'll do something with it or add his little caption in there somehow. Wait, would this actually work if I showed the back of that?
Oh yeah, let me zoom in real quick.
Yeah. Get this, guys. Use your phone.
Use your technology.
It's beautiful. Turn it around, let's see the front. Yeah.
I'm like a hand model right
yeah.
here, guys.
You're such a good model right now.
That's gorgeous.
Whoa,
Okay.
where did that whistle come from? Wherever could... Oh, well, that was weird.
Alright. Just everywhere now. So yeah, it's great. We love it. He did my wedding. I loved it. It was perfect. Yeah, he left a little Easter egg in there. There was some Christmas music for the menu screen. It was awesome.
It's not Christmas music.
It was like fluty. It was Christmas music. Everybody said it was Christmas music. It was cool. I loved it. It was great. It's like my own little twist on a video. It's awesome. I enjoyed it. It was really good quality. It was.
Awesome.
So,
Yeah, it was.
alright, now that we took care of that, we're also going to drop another sponsor real quick, just get it out of the way. Us! Follow us on YouTube, follow us on Facebook, follow us on, is that up yet? Is Twitter going good yet?
Twitter is coming, so keep checking the socials. We'll post a link on our Facebook when it's up, so keep checking our Facebook.
Check Facebook.
Yeah, the YouTube video description.
Oh yeah, it'll be in the YouTube video description.
Maybe.
Yeah. Sorry, I was looking over and I was just seeing this, and I'm like, I can't.
We just thought it was like trying to do a Doctor Strange like sling ring thing.
We're getting better. We are. We're getting better.
Oh, yeah.
Don't go back to the first episode on SoundCloud. As you can tell, we start with episode 4 on YouTube.
Episode 4.
There's a reason for that.
Episode 4 was okay. Episode 5 is where it gets great. Go check out episode 5 right now. Do it. No, not right now. Watch us first, then check out episode 5.
No, episode 8. So, let's go ahead and get into it now. Do you want to start with your story? Let's start with your story. So,
Story? Alright.
We kind of went over this in a previous video.
A little bit.
But who was your favorite character again?
So, my favorite character, I hope that this is the same character I said in the other video because it's been a couple weeks. My opinions may have changed, but my favorite character is definitely Connor. He was, he was really cool. I love Connor, love his story, especially mine for the most part, and just the way he was acted and portrayed was really, really good. It was awesome.
So, that being said, when you go through the story, there's multiple decisions, multiple ways to go about it.
So many.
And the first episode of each, they're kind of like chapters. So, the first chapter of each character, it goes like you start out as Connor and then you play as the girl, I always forget her name. Kara, thank you. And then you go to Marcus. And so you play one after the other and you just keep going in that order unless one of them dies. And they can die.
Oh,
and
they can die. Oof.
His died.
So many
couple of
ways.
his died. So anyway, that's later on. But when you actually start getting into the meat of it, when you're on one mission. So Connor's hired to be a detective, and he has to run down these what they call deviants, which is the people that actually, or the androids that started to get human emotions, have feelings, and decide whether or not they have a soul, whether or not they're alive.
Yeah.
So
Some pretty deep stuff.
yeah, so Connor's a guy that is, or an android that's hired to hunt them down. He's more of a detective. He's hired to hunt them down, stop them, whatever the cost. And there's a moment when you're paired up with this human detective, and you're teamed up,
Yes.
and you're chasing down this
Yes.
deviant, and you're running across, and the deviant grabs your partner and throws him over a rooftop. And the guy grabs on. His name's Hank. He grabs onto
Good old
that
Hank.
roof.
I love Hank. You know what? Connor's not my favorite character. Hank is. Justice for Hank. He didn't deserve that ending.
No, I don't know. Anyway, but Hank grabs onto the ledge, and all of a sudden it gives you a choice. You can chase after the deviant, which is what you're programmed to do, or you can try and save Hank. However, it does say Hank has a 79% chance of survival. So
This is where
what
our stories
kind
really
of
started to change.
started, and this is just like the third
This is like
chapter, second chapter?
it's like right after like the first, a little bit of kind of like tutorial. Basically, it's like right after that.
Yeah.
It starts to change so much. Because on mine, I was like, no, Hank is a cool guy. He's awesome. I'm gonna save him. He's my friend. He's like Harvey Bullock from Gotham. He's great. Anyway, so I saved him, and
I said screw it, and I had to complete my mission. And I did. And Hank survived. And then the deviant broke free of my grasp, yelled, M9, what, M9?
was it M9? Yeah, it was M9, I think.
Pretty sure it was M9. Comment below if
Yeah,
you're
let
wrong.
us know if we're
So-
wrong.
I'm pretty sure it was M9, and he goes, M9 saved me. And he threw himself off the building and killed himself. So, Hank was super ticked, and I didn't get my deviant. So that
Yeah.
sucked.
You didn't get yours. I had a cool chase. Still didn't catch mine.
Yeah, because you saved Hank.
Yeah.
So that's
Yeah.
really when it started to go away. And in the top right, you saw like software disableability for him. He was starting to become more deviant-like because he made a human emotional choice, whereas I followed my programming, so therefore mine stayed stable. And so you
Follow the
go on as
program.
Connor, and all three of them tie together really well. And you start going along the line as Connor. You find Marcus, and Marcus becomes the leader of the deviants.
Well, hold
type
on. We gotta
thing.
back up here. We gotta back up. We gotta talk about what was, even though it was early on, one of my probably favorite parts of the game is when Connor and Kara first like crossed over in the same level. For me, it didn't happen for him because of his choices.
Well, no, because I was good, and
No.
Kara and the little girl and mine were able to get on the bus and escape
On mine,
from the
Kara,
hotel. You
little-
got caught. You got caught.
Yeah, but mine was so much more epic. It was literally more epic than the Avengers crossing over. It was that epic. You gotta play.
Did your Kara live?
Did yours?
Watch the end and find out. So,
Yeah.
what about that mission?
So, rewinding back a little bit on mine, long story short, if you've seen the trailers for the game, you basically know kind of like Kara's story, like what's happening with her. So she's on the run with this little girl, and you stay in the hotel for the night, which I chose to do, which you didn't have to. You could have stayed in some abandoned warehouse, but I was able to get into a hotel, nice hotel. We were chilling. It was nice. It was great. But after that, in the morning, the police show up because Connor is now on the trail of. You good there? Mysterious man behind the camera, you good?
He's like, yeah, we went back to my place, and then the police showed up.
And then you showed up.
Did I say my place?
Anyway,
Wow. Alright. Anyway, so Connor and Hank, they show up because they're on the trail of these deviants. And Kara and the little girl Alice are trying to get away. And so you're playing as Kara and Alice. It's their chapter. You're like, okay, you gotta, hide and get away. All of a sudden, you're sneaking away. Cuts to a cutscene. You see Connor and Hank walk in. You transfer over. You're playing as them now. They walk. Connor looks out of the corner of his eye. He sees Kara. He's like, hey! Switches back to Kara. You have to run across this, like, futuristic 100-mile-an-hour highway. All these cars are going. So you're playing as Kara, running away, and then it switches to Connor. You're chasing her. You're playing as Kara. You're running away. And if you make a mistake with either character, it's gonna change the story completely. So
You
basically,
get hit by a car and die.
I got hit by a car once. I didn't die though. It was pretty
Well,
fun.
it just like nicked.
It like hit his arm. I'm surprised it didn't break. But no, it was insane. It was epic. Finally though, Kara and Alice got away. Connor was upset, and Hank was like, "Whoa, he risked his life to go after him." So yeah.
Now, what's really cool is you start going and you don't know exactly what character you like, but you start getting emotionally attached to people. Like mine was Kara
Sure.
and the little girl. I was emotionally invested. I wanted to do everything I could to get them alive, and their whole goal. So in her beginning, she's gets bought by this old fat dude. I say old, he's in his like 50s. Gets bought by him, and he's just this fat looking guy, looks
Is he
like he's
fat?
all druggy. And he takes her back, and comes to find out he had destroyed her previously and sent her
Yeah.
back for repairs, and they ended up wiping her memory because that's the only way to repair that.
Plot
They couldn't
twist.
save the memory. So she has no memory of what happened. Now, this dad has a little girl and would beat her. And you start making choices and you break your programming and you start becoming deviant because you want to save this little girl. So you break in and you break your little, almost like a mind barrier of your android, and you start protecting the little girl, and both of us ended up shooting the dad and killing him.
Yeah.
And we escape with the little girl. And so you start to learn and love the fact that you're this deviant trying to take care of this girl. The girl needs a mother. You want to be normal and have a daughter, and it just clicks and it works. And so you guys are going the entire time you're trying to get to what's called Jericho, which is this safe haven for all the deviants, which Marcus, the other character we'll talk about, is the one that ends up leading that.
Yeah.
He goes from being accused of murdering his owner or his owner's son, depending on how your story plays out, and thrown in a dump to
Yeah.
becoming leader of Jericho.
Jericho.
Which
also
happened
is the-
really fast, and I didn't like how
fast.
they just were like, oh, you're a random deviant, you're in control now. Like,
It did happen fast, but it was cool how Jericho was the catalyst. You know, it connected. Whereas like Connor's story felt so far away for most of it. It like
And
connected
in the end, it tied
everything.
in.
Like Jericho was the
yeah.
yeah.
So the entire time as Connor, you're trying to find these deviants, trying to find out where exactly this Jericho is, who M9 is, and all these different things. Meanwhile, you're also Marcus trying to make this Jericho become super awesome and good. Meanwhile, you're Kara trying to get you and the little girl to Jericho to be safe. It's crazy and awesome and wonderful, and that's really
And there's a bear.
yes.
There's a
I found
bear.
it there. So
There's a
take us to that. Take me through that mission real quick with
That
Kara.
mission. Oh man, that's such a far jump. But yeah, so that mission.
Well, it's not a super far jump because you brought them from where you were at the hotel.
That's
You
true. So
escaped,
they went.
and you showed up at that door. That's where you went.
Yeah, so like in that first night when we're trying to find that place to stay, this random android on the street comes up and he's like, "Hey, I know this guy that helps out people like you."
Well, you're not trying to get to Jericho. You're trying to get across the border, actually.
Yeah, I know.
But Jericho is what helps
Well,
you.
he
get
doesn't
across the
talk.
border.
He's not talking about Jericho. Though.
Well, I know, but I'm saying like they were trying to get to Jericho to get across the border, and this guy said that this man would help them get
Oh,
across
you're
the
right.
border
Yeah.
without having to go to Jericho. Just
Yes.
straight shot.
So you go to this dude's house. You know, it's night, storming, of course. This really old mansion. You're like, okay, it's a little weird. And this guy, he's there. Doesn't look unlike the Alice's dad, which is weird in itself. But he's like, yeah, I'll help you. He's got this really big, like, buff dude. He's like, this crazy, like, big dude that's an android. Calls him Luther. Good old Luther. Ha, Mission Impossible. Hey, I just, oh, wow.
Promotion for the new one coming out.
Yeah.
Give us money.
Go see it. Yeah, anyway, but so he's got this bodyguard. He's like, all right, you know, first I gotta get rid of the tracking in your software because they're gonna be able to track you. You won't ever be able to get away. So Alice is like, I don't feel good about this. This feels not right. And you can either choose to.
Alice is the little girl.
Alice is the little girl. I already talked about that.
I'm just
They're
reminding
good.
them.
They're good.
Names are hard to remember.
That's true. More
For
for
me.
you. It would have been more for you if you had made that one choice that you should have. But anyway, but no. So so you can either choose to leave or go with it. I chose to go with it because I'm like, we gotta get across the border. This guy is a little weird, but I'm gonna trust him. Go
I thought you
down.
had to trust him.
No, you can choose to leave because Alice is like, hey, I don't feel good about this, and you can either like walk away or like
I
go
didn't know you
down.
could actually walk away. I think you had to follow
No,
him.
you can walk away. That's the crazy part. I don't know what would have happened.
Oh
But
no,
you could have walked
choices.
away. You could have walked away. But so you follow this guy down this weird like castle-like basement. It's all like stone and brick. And he's like, okay, I gotta hook you up to this machine, and it's gonna get rid of the tracking thing. And you get hooked up, and they're like, wait a minute, this isn't right. And he's like, sorry about this. Plot twist, it's revealed he basically takes androids and reprograms them and uses them for whatever. He doesn't help them get across the border. He's just a weird old bad dude.
He uses them for sex slaves, for spare parts, for guarding them, and like
Yeah, for
very messed up.
He's a
individual.
messed up dude. So you're hooked up to this thing, and you realize that it's counting down for memory erase. Like it's going to erase. It's a new word, guys. You heard it here first. Erase your memory, though. And so then he leaves, and Luther, the big bodyguard, before he leaves, he looks at you. He's like, "Meet me upstairs in 10 minutes." You're like, "But I can't get there," and he just leaves. They take Alice away, so you're struggling. So on mine, I'm in the character. I put myself in these characters. I play through it. Whatever happens, happens. So I'm struggling to get out of here. I knock over this thing. There's some water. I grab a wire, pull it out, and it shocks the whole thing. Shuts down the system. I get out. You right? I'm good. So I'm going after them. On his, see, he's like me. He put himself in the character. He's like, I'm gonna get out of this. So he knocks over the thing, and we're playing this simultaneously, mind you. So we're experiencing it together. He's like, what wire did you pull? I tell him I pulled the blue wire. He's like, okay. Poof. He's like, nothing happens. And then
You know you're saying this all wrong, right, dude?
it counts down. He's like, dude, I can't do anything. It's not letting me do it. And his memory is erased. That's how crazy this game is. His memory was erased. Mine was not. Except for some reason, the way his story ended, he didn't have his memory erased. Imagine that.
Well, let's see how this worked out, actually.
I'm just picturing the audio spike that just happened. Sorry, headphone listeners. I'm so sorry. Blame him.
So, what really happened was we both loaded in, and it just shows this thing, and for him it said, try to escape. For me, it didn't say anything, so I'm just sitting there, and he's like messing with his stuff. I'm like, what are you doing? He goes, I'm trying to escape. And I'm like, what do you mean? And there's this progress bar going up. And I'm like, what do you mean? We just have to wait. He goes, no. And I started looking around, I'm like, wait, what? It was at 80% when I tried to escape.
Uh-huh.
He started escaping at 5 or 10%.
No, it was like 20%, and I was telling you, I'm escaping.
And I couldn't understand what was going on. So finally, my memory gets wiped, and he escaped. And I'm like, that's bull. I didn't even know you could escape.
Yeah,
And
but
so
you have
I
to understand.
reloaded.
No, you have to go back. You have to understand what happened. He's like, dude, what did you do? Tell me exactly what you did. So I'm like,
No,
okay.
no, not the first time.
The first time you failed and you reloaded it.
Yes,
And
because it loaded too quick. So
the
the
first
same
of all,
time.
he took the easy way out. He's like, I'm gonna
Sheesh, you
reload
asked
it.
me to talk. I'm the host.
And then
I'm
he
pulling
said-
rank. I'm the
no,
host.
I need to finish what happened though. Because then he's like, dude, you gotta tell me exactly what you did. I said, okay, look over to the left. Knock over the bucket of wire. He's like, okay, I did that. I'm like, okay, next, you gotta pull the blue wire on the very far right. Look up, pull it out. He's like, okay, I did that. He's like, nothing happened.
You told me wrong.
No, I told him exactly what
So
I
this is
did.
what happened. The first time, I didn't know I could escape. I realized I could escape, so I reloaded it, which he was already all like, woo, woo, woo. So I reloaded it. And I'm like, okay, tell me what you did so I can do it. And he goes, well, I pulled this cord and knocked that thing over and then pulled that cord.
No, I told him exactly where
So
and
I knocked-
what object.
So I pulled the thing, which knocked the water over, and then I knocked the object over, and it didn't work. You know why? Because it doesn't work that way. And he had told me wrong. And he goes, well, that's exactly what I did. What happened was, no, you knock over the item on the left, and then you pull the wire to the right, and the water falls on the object. So I did that because I wanted to do it how I would have done it in the beginning had I known you were able to escape.
So essentially, what happened is his story is not his true ending because it did not end how it ever would have ended, how it should have ended. He went back on his mistakes and he didn't get the full experience like I did. And that's why mine.
In the next episode, we're gonna have a new co-host, and it's gonna be
Oh,
a
I'm
great,
sorry. I didn't know you were
great
leaving.
time from now on.
Wow, you're leaving?
So,
That's too bad. Sorry. Hey Brian, you want to hop in now?
You know, this is my studio.
What? Nah, what are you talking
I'd be happy to get up when my foot fell asleep.
Anyway, but yeah, so that happened. It was a great thing. Like, then you have to go through the house. You find the girl, and Luther helps you escape. All the androids attack the guy and kill him.
about? There's a bear!
Amazing. I found the bear. He did not.
Exactly.
And then you go on and you start making your way. You find a circus, and these people actually show you another house to go to that's legit. She's gonna help you get across the border. But before,
Side note, while they're at this like amusement park thing, Luther, who went with you, was like,
your bodyguard.
yeah, the bodyguard. He's the cool, awesome dude. But he's like, I need to talk to you about Alice. And of course, your character, the one time they don't give you the choice of what to say, your character's like, not right now. We don't have time.
Yeah.
And she pushes aside.
And she pushes aside a lot.
We'll come back to that later.
So you guys end up winding yourselves up at this woman's house who wants to help deviants get across
What was
the
her
border.
name? Was it Rose?
Yeah, it was
Good old
Rose.
Rose. I love
So
Rose.
you're at Rose's house, and meanwhile you have Connor who's trying to find out all about Jericho,
Yeah.
and he is going. Well, actually, we gotta talk about Marcus first. So Marcus,
Oh,
he
man.
starts leading Jericho. He starts leading raids, getting like
He's trying to
things
talk
like
to
that.
North on mine. He's talking to North, you know. North.
And
Go North.
so what you do is you want to set a bunch of androids free. So you go around, you bust in stores at android
Ooh.
places. And
Yeah.
you set free these androids. And you set all these androids free, they join the rebellion, and you decide you need to go to a news station to broadcast and tell people, you know, you're friendly or you are going to be set free no matter what the cost. You kind of choose what path you want to go. I chose more of a Martin Luther King style of let's be heard, but let's be kind. He chose a you better hide because we're going to murder every single human being out there.
Well,
It was very anger.
But even before that, though, when they set all the androids free, that's where you kind of start to take shape of what Jericho's going to be. Because you have the option to be peaceful, or, in my opinion, which was way cooler, knock over some cars, set some fires. It was lit, literally.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. 'cause
Yeah,
we gotta
you
talk
were
about
very
the
cool.
cop. We gotta
Yeah.
talk about the cop.
So I was very nice.
Okay, I kind of feel bad about the cop. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Hank. Yeah. We gotta talk
So-
about this.
I was very peaceful.
You were not completely peaceful.
I was 80% peaceful, 20% destroying
Okay.
things. So you were 100% destroying things.
I was.
So
It was
we
pretty cool.
start going and we start running because the cops are coming after us because we're messing up the park, graffiti and all that stuff. And I hear shots. My character does. So I run around the corner and I see a bunch of deviants laying dead. And a couple other deviants have caught 2 cops that are holding a gun to them. And I walk up and they hand me the gun and go, Marcus, you need to kill them because they shot all of us. And it gives you a choice to let the people decide or to kill them or to set them free. And I looked at him and I said I set him free. And I said to myself in the game, my character said to himself, he goes, an eye for an eye and the world goes blind. And I thought that was like awesome saying. He goes, we're not like them, and it's time we show them that. And they're, you know, the cops are crying and everything. They don't want to die. So I give up the gun and everything. And
On mine.
yeah.
So, yeah. So on mine, I was going with the character. I'm like, okay, you know, Marcus for me, he's seen some stuff. Like he got thrown in the dump, discarded. Everyone hates him. You know, they're trying to, his the only person human that was ever nice to him he died. You know, so he sees all these deviants that were shot by this police officer, and they hand him the gun, and so. I don't think it actually said kill him on mine.
It did. It did.
Did it?
Yes.
Okay, no,
It's a
okay.
kill.
So what happened was the first option was very vague. It was like show mercy or be ruthless. So I hit be ruthless because that's where my character was going.
You knew it would shoot
And
him.
then
You
I
knew
did not
it would kill
know
him.
it would kill him. I did not.
You were
know.
holding a gun to his head and it said, "Be merciful."
I
be
hadn't
ruthless."
hold. I was not.
Brian,
holding,
would you know that was
I
kill?
was not holding the gun yet. Don't listen to him.
Maybe.
Brian, get your toe out of here. But no, so I chose be ruthless, and then it's like he shot him, and I was like, oh man, I felt a little bad, but it was the character. I was like, you know what? No, this, Marcus on mine, he's been through some stuff, and so I was like, you know what? It's
He's terrible.
terrible. He's, Yeah, I did it, and immediately I thought, those cops are gonna Drax him Skloust. Inside joke.
Anyway, keep going.
There's like one person that got that reference, maybe. But no, so I did that, and that helps. That's what happened on mine. Yeah, we'll go back to that choice later.
So, you do that, but then you go to a newsroom. You raid this news tower
This was
because
pretty epic.
you wanna
Can
put
we
out a
talk
speech.
about how smooth Marcus got from that chapter to the next one where he raids the newsroom? He's like walking
Yeah,
in
I
like
think
James
you
Bond.
raided the newsroom first.
Did he? I don't think so.
Because the very next episode after what
Yeah.
happened to the cops, you become Connor. Remember? Because immediately when you become Connor, you have that conversation with Hank. So, what happened is you raid the newsroom, you bust in there,
He was so
and
cool, though.
you
It's like
shoot
James
cops, you don't have to shoot cops. Anyway, you choose your mission all the way
yeah.
through. And that's where you really start to become merciful or ruthless.
My guy like sacrificed himself for me. See, my Jericho was for me though. See, with my choices, they were willing to do whatever it took to help me accomplish the goal. His Jericho,
They weren't that happy with me because I was doing
No.
the little things more merciful, which cost us more human
North liked
lives.
me. North
So
Yeah.
he's in it for the girl. So we go in, right? We get to the newsroom, and we both take different paths. He takes the path of, okay, we're gonna be very like ruthless, like we are demanding this stuff. We will take this to the streets. We will war against your people. And I was trying to be very peaceful, Martin Luther King, like, look, this is what we want. We want freedom. We don't want to be enslaved anymore. We want to be free. And the cops raid. We run up to the building, run up to the top, and you escape.
You escape. You jump
Well,
off the building. Mission
Then it
Impossible.
turns to Connor, the detective, who goes in there and he's trying to find everything out, right? Well, you look in this one back room and you know that there's a deviant that helped them escape. That was working at the radio station or the news station or the TV station. Sorry. So you start questioning these androids, trying to find the deviant, and the deviant reaches in and pulls out your metal core
Well, here's
and
the deal.
throws you to the ground.
Before that, you had so many options. Like, you could go like downstairs or go like back the other way to like, talk with the people that were there. You could go on the roof. There was all this evidence up on the roof, or you could go. There was these deviants that may have known something. You could question them. So we both we took the time. We questioned them. Like we took a long time on it, and then
Yeah. And one of them was a deviant, and he just reaches in and grabs out this core that's what really powers you. And if you don't put it back in within a minute, you don't have much life left. Your character will shut down, which is meaning he dies. So he rips out the core, and you have to escape. You grab the core, you put it back in, and
you crawl, and it's an intense
you
scene. It's crazy.
run into the hallway to see him at the door, and he spins around with a machine gun and looks
This-
at you, and there's cops, and there's Hank. So you got the guy in the back
You're running.
at the door. You're running, and there's a cop right here. There's a cop right here, and then
Hank's
Hank's
over
right
here.
here.
And the deviant's right by the cop in front of the door.
Yeah, and up here, and it just freezes, and you have 10 seconds to make a
And
choice.
this is where
And you can look around, and it's like
Everything.
Hank's survivability 28%, and then so it goes save Hank, run after the deviant, and you have to look at them to figure out what to do. And so you can run at the deviant and try and stop him, or you can try and save Hank, and Hank has 28%
or you
survival.
can
Not yet.
apparently.
Tell your sex.
Okay, so I'm running to it, freezes. I look left because Hank, he's my friend, yo. Hank's the man. He's awesome. It's like save Hank. I'm like, okay, I'm probably gonna do that because I'm not ruthless like some other people that just left him hanging off the side of the building.
He survived.
But anyway, he wasn't very happy about it. And then it says attack deviant. I'm like, well, I'm not just gonna charge him because that's gonna literally get me killed. Well, you don't like if you play this game, you know how fast you have to make choices. Like it is so intense. Like split-second decisions, super fast fights. They're crazy. So in my mind, I didn't know how long I was gonna have. So I looked left. I'm like, okay, save Hank. I looked up. It said attack. I thought those were my two options. So I'm like, well, I'm gonna save Hank. Obviously, instead of being smart and like grabbing a gun, which what I actually would have done in that situation, I just go no and like dive in front of Hank, eat like 5 bullets, save Hank. Hank's like, Connor, no. And then the relationship status goes up and says Hank, friend. And that's when my character died. I lost Connor. He's gone.
So,
And on his,
and we're
but
doing it
no,
at the same time,
just
so
have to
I
say
don't know
this.
what happened to his.
I just have to make this note. I stick with my choices, so I didn't go back and replay that mission.
He's never gonna let it go
Just
that
saying.
I had like no time. I didn't know he was. Anyway, We already went over that. So I run into the hallway, and I look left, and I immediately see Hank, and it goes, save Hank, 28% survivability rate for Hank. And I look straight, and it said attack the person, and I'm running out of time. Like, it's all about to go down. I'm like, there has to be another way. There has to. And I just look right, and it says grab gun, and I'm like, yes. So I grab the gun, I pull the gun out, and I shoot the bad guy 4 times, and he dies. And everyone else survives. And I was able to prevent Connor's death. And in the very next mission, it rolls up, and we roll up to the person who created all the androids.
The Elon Musk type person.
Yeah. So me and Hank get out of the car.
And I just have to say, you have to understand the backstory of this. This was like the last level we played, or I played, then I stopped, and then a couple days later, I played it again. So like, Connor died, and I was like, wait, what? What? Like, I was just mind blown. In my head, I kind of thought, wait, they mentioned before he's like state of the art, you know, he's top of the line, that's the android they sent. I thought, well, maybe he'll come back as another Connor.
No, you
No,
didn't.
I did think that. I didn't say it because I was too in shock. But I thought it. And I
Bull
was
crap.
like,
You
no,
thought it.
I
Prove
thought
that.
It. I thought it. I knew it. I watched a lot of shows. I know how these things
Well,
go.
you know what? I thought that Bitcoin would go up to $19,000 back when it was 2013.
Ooh.
But I just thought that. So
Well, you know, I thought that you would have stuck with your original story, but
that's all he got. That's all he has on me. Anyway, so we get out of the car, and I talk to Hank. We're at the place, and he goes, hey, last night the Deviants destroyed a building, and my buddy said he was spared by Marcus himself. The cops that were kneeling before me were Hank's friends, and they have a little girl. He had a little girl and everything like that, had a wife, had a family. And I was like, wow, I made a choice as Marcus to save the cop, and now, you know, he can go home to his family, and the little girl still has her father. I thought that was awesome. So we go up and we talk to the main character, whatever, or the person that created the androids, and he goes, are you deviant, Connor? And he starts asking me these questions. Well, based on everything I said, everything I've done, I am becoming more deviant as time goes on. So that he puts this android girl in front of me and gives me a gun and goes, shoot it, and I'll tell you anything you want to know. I'll answer any question. And you can ask about who is M9. You can ask, where is Jericho? You can ask, why are the deviants being this way? You can ask certain questions that will give you very good information. And I was like, you know what? I'm not going to kill her because I'm becoming deviant. I'm starting to have feelings. I can't shoot something that has feelings, something that could potentially have a soul. So I decide not to. So I don't answer any questions and I leave, right? That mission actually happened
for both of us.
for both of us.
I start playing because I told him, you know what? Next mission's Connor. I'm not gonna have that mission. Play it by yourself. I was done. I was like, no, Connor died. So I got.
So you didn't even think you were gonna have another one. You thought you were
Well,
done.
I said I thought it, and I was like, no, that won't happen. I was too in shock. Anyway, he's just jealous.
Continue.
He's just jealous that I totally called it. But anyway, so I'm like, all right, load it up. Let's see what the next mission is. Starts out the same way it does for him. I'm like, what? Hank gets out of the car, and there's Connor. No, because it started.
I rode with Connor. You showed up.
Well, what
Hank
happened was-
showed up and Connor was just there.
Because it Connor just shows up, and you're like, wait, what? Turns out, look at that. They got Connor's memories, and it's in the next Connor, because he's state of the art. He's the newest one, the best one. But, and this was a cause for a lot of deep conversation for us. We were like, okay, so does this mean that it's the original Connor? He has his memories, but it's a new model. Would he be deviant? Would the memories make him deviant like he already was?
And what I claimed is that no, they wouldn't, because they didn't instill the emotion with the memories, and they probably kept out memories that would turn an android more deviant because they're creating androids. They don't want them to be deviant. So they would probably purposely leave out some of those memories.
Which I can see, but in my argument, you know, those memories are what? Those memories that of Hank and things like that would have done it, and I don't know, I wasn't sure. I lean more towards he would still be the same. So we're going through, I get to that mission, this guy's talking, and he gives me the same choice. I'm thinking about it, I'm like, you know what? This is a different Connor. Because some of the choices I answered, I was like, you know what? this is different. It's not the same. Hank even can see it. He's like upset. He's like, you're not the same Connor. You're just in the next year's model. So I shoot the android and ask a question. And what did I ask about?
You asked who M9 was,
I did.
and he didn't know.
And he was like, huh? It's the wrong question to ask, but I honestly don't know. And he just walked out. Hank's upset. I shot the girl. Hank's not my friend as much anymore. Things are going bad.
Yeah.
So at this point, I'm like, okay, Connor, he's just not the same person.
So we're gonna speed this up real quick because
Yeah,
we only
speed
got
it up.
like a few more minutes left on this episode.
Yeah.
But so what happens is, as you then Connor does a little bit more research and finds out where Jericho is,
Boom.
and then Rose helps you get to Jericho. So you have Alice and Kara get to Jericho. Connor's on his way to Jericho, and Marcus is obviously leading Jericho, preparing for a rebellion.
It's
so-
hype. You have a nuke. You're talking about a nuke. Marcus?
Yeah, dirty bomb.
Dirty bomb.
So they all meet up, and Kara and Alice are with Jericho people, and finally Luther tells you Alice is an android.
Which we both talked about
Yeah.
from the very beginning.
So then it gives you a choice pretty much to hug Alice or to be distant, because you're like, it's an android, I don't want anything to do with it, or you can be like, no, I still love it. Even though you're an android, you thought it was a human, and you can kind of tell that it took her, like it took Kara back a little bit, like, well, you know, it's not the same type thing. But then Luther was like, what's different about it? You're an android. Why does her being an android affect how you think about her? And it's like, you're right.
Steve,
So we both decided to embrace her, you
yeah,
know,
let's be
anyway,
honest, it's a little
and
early.
who she was. So you form this tight group, right? Well, Connor and everybody raid Jericho. So then you're all, like, Kara and Alice and Luther are running, Marcus is running, and Connor's chasing them, and what happens is, in both of ours, Luther tripped, and you leave Luther or you can try and stop people. But we both wanted to make sure Alice and
survived.
Kara lived.
Mostly Alice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're like, you know what, Luther, you saved us, we're gone. So we leave, Luther dies.
Luther's
and-
like, go, it's okay.
Connor's chasing after Marcus, and Marcus is running, doing different stuff. And so Marcus finally, well, what happens? Connor finds Marcus, and they're talking about.
Where's Marcus in the
He's like,
tower?
look, you gotta join us. You gotta be deviant with us. Like, what are you doing? And Connor's like, and my guy had a choice because mine didn't die. I had all those memories, and I had the choice to become deviant or stay as an android. I chose to become deviant and fight for them because of all the choices I made previously.
And on mine, because, you know, it was a new Connor, even though some of the same memories, it just wasn't the same. So on mine, I couldn't even choose that. So I had to go after Luther.
Or after Marcus.
Not Luther. I don't know why I always call
So,
Luther Marcus.
In mine, Connor was running. We were going. And Connor's helping Marcus, and what's her name? The girl
North?
that Marcus is with.
North?
North, yeah. North gets
The
strapped and
no,
starts
the girl
getting
that I
attacked.
was with.
And
you
so
weren't with.
Marcus goes in to save her and starts beating people up. And then Marcus starts getting hurt. So Connor, I used Connor to run in there and help too. My Connor died. in
Just like that.
moment.
What a lame death. Mine, at least, I like saved Hank. I like dove in front.
I saved.
Yeah, but,
Marcus
yours,
and North.
even you have to admit though, you're like, what? What?
I was so
What
sad.
just happened? On
Because I
mine,
fought
though.
3 guys and missed.
Yeah, and then on mine though, I had the same scene except just Marcus and North. We had this cool fight. It was great.
Yeah.
We survived. We jumped out of an explosion.
I run out with Alice and Kara, and they and the bad guys, the cops, flood out and start shooting at us. And it says, keep running, jump on Alice, or just fall to the ground and play dead. I fell to the ground and played dead. Both of us did.
Oh wait.
And the cops start walking up to us. And as you're laying there, it says, roll over to Alice and grab her, or get up and run, or just don't move. And the cop walks up and sticks the gun right to your head, and that's when you have the choice. And I just was like, I can't do anything. I just laid there frozen. And this is happening simultaneous.
It's like we're synced up.
And the cop pulls his gun back and walks away from me.
And
And I hear Chase yell, no.
on mine,
You're like,
it
no!
wasn't so much a no, it was just a and then silence of me just like this. Because on mine, I was like, he's gonna do something, he's gonna check, it's not gonna work. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna grab the gun. Now there's 2 guys. I grab the one gun, start beating up the one guy. I get shot. Alice yells, "No!" And she gets shot, and we both die. Dead.
They're dead.
Both.
Completely dead. Those ones don't come back.
That was the worst one.
They're completely dead.
That was rough.
And so, at the end of this mission, on mine, Luther's dead, Connor's dead. For him, you have Alice, Luther, and Kara dead.
Mm-hmm.
And so then it goes to the next mission, and we're in this church. And Marcus is preparing for this huge thing, tells Alice and Kara he's going to get them passports for mine. He doesn't have them in his. And my Connor has been created again. My Connor is going now because Marcus and them lead a revolution through the streets, and there's this huge epic scene that they fight. We don't have time to go into all of it, but it's a lot of cool, really cool.
Oh, yeah.
And they're getting ready to go push this huge offensive. And they're held up in a church getting ready to go do this and fight. And Connor laid up on a building when they're doing their protest, getting ready to shoot at Marcus. Well, Hank comes in and there's a shoving battle, and because I'm Connor that got killed, I'm now not a deviant. I'm making my character be an android. And so I'm like, look, Hank, I gotta do this. And Hank charges at me to shove me off the building, and I grab him and I throw him off. Both of us do.
Well, except it was different because on yours, you just got the new Connor. It was completely different. See, mine, I had that little bit of extra time. I shot the android. I was a little bit conflicted. So on mine, I tried everything not to kill Hank. I was doing everything non-lethal. I was just dodging out of the way, just punching him. I threw the gun away, and then at the last second, Hank's like, "I can't let you do this," and he runs at me, and
You juked him. You just stepped
I
out.
just juked him.
He fell off the building.
And he fell off the building.
So Hank's dead.
Yeah.
So the next chapter happens, and Marcus on both of ours is moving up, trying to take over downtown. He's trying to push through and just take it out and everything like that. And in mine, he does. I succeed in that. And he fights Marcus. Connor and Marcus start fighting on the battlefield, and because I like Marcus more now because Connor is no longer my deviant Connor that I fell in love with, Marcus kills him. Kills Connor. And Marcus keeps moving up and ends up taking over the entire city, and he gets in charge of Detroit. He's in charge of Detroit. And that's how Marcus and Connor's story end right there. Connor's dead on the battlefield, Marcus takes over Detroit for the androids, and the news reports are that the United States have terrorists and they're all gonna have to destroy Detroit, stuff like that.
On
And
mine,
yours.
I was failing playing as Marcus, was going through. And I failed some stuff, didn't make some good decisions. Marcus lost everyone. North, everyone is dead. So it ends, Connor's now, he went down to ground level, he's chasing after Marcus. It ends, we're in this little shop building. Marcus gets shot, he's laying there, Connor's standing over him. But Marcus still has the trigger for the dirty bomb. And you can either choose to,
You can choose to shoot Marcus.
First,
as
you can
Connor.
choose to shoot Marcus as Connor, and I shot him because on mine, I love Marcus more now, but Connor was so cool, and I had to go with Connor. Alice and Kara were dead. I was like, I'm just gonna go with Connor. So I shot him. Marcus is laying there. He pulls the trigger out of his pocket. And you can
Connor
shoot.
walks out of the building at this point.
Connor walks out. He's like, my work's done. Marcus pulls the trigger out. He's just thinking about it. You can either detonate it or not. I was like, Marcus, he would detonate it. So I detonated it. It ends. Dirty bomb went off. There's all this fallout. The government's talking about it.
Connor's face melts off. Connor just looks up and sees the bright light, and it just goes.
Yeah, it's crazy. Basically, yeah, it ends. They say the androids won. They destroyed downtown Detroit and
Used a dirty bomb.
That's-
No one's gonna be able to live there except for the androids
for hundreds of years or something crazy like that. And yeah, that's how mine ended.
completely. It's done.
It's just done. I was like,
I have one final chapter. Kara and Alice are still alive. We make it to the edge of where Canada and the United States meet. We have to cross the river. And so we get on this boat and we start going. And the Border Patrol rolls up and starts shooting everybody. And so I grab Kara, we drop down, and we survive the bullets, and they go away. And so I lean back up, and there's a hole in the boat. So it says you have to dump stuff out. And meanwhile, it's winter. So we dump as much as we could out, as much as I think I can. I don't know. And then it says we're still sinking. We gotta get there. So I use Kara and I jump out of the boat and I start pushing. Alice had been shot, so she's, starting to lose power. So I have to get her to shore, get her to safety, and I can't be in the water for long. I have a countdown, otherwise all my components will freeze and Kara will die. So I push and I keep going, and finally I get the boat to Canada. And I did it in a minute, and I get out and I pick up Alice, and she's dying. She just can't go on. And so I'm holding her in my arms, and when I drop to my knees, I'm like, it's okay, we're gonna survive, Alice, we got this. And she looks up to me and she goes, did we do it? Are we free? And I look at her and I go, yeah, we made it, we're free. And she smiles and she shuts down. And it gives me the option to continue on and go on with my life, or to give up. And I chose to give up. I couldn't go on with Alice being killed. And so right there, Kara just kind of lowers her head, closes her eyes, and shuts down. And I made it to Canada, but I died right there. And that's how mine ended.
Yeah.
And it goes to the menu screen, and this whole time the menu screen has an android. She talks with you. She's the first android ever created. It's really cool. It's very interactive.
Yeah.
And you grow to actually love the menu screen character. And she looks at you and she goes, out of everything that's transpired, I've begun to have emotions and have feelings, and I really like to go do my own thing. I'll never forget you, but will you please set me free? And I chose to set her free. It actually gives you a choice. I said, yes, I will. She's like, thank you, I'll never forget you, as long as I live. And she walks off the screen. And she won't come back. She can't come back unless I was to delete everything off of my PlayStation, any remembrance of the game, and re-download it.
It's crazy. And on mine, she said, either let me free, or if you click no, my memory will be erased, and...
No, she didn't say that. She would just say, she's like, will you please set me free?
No, because then she said if
At the end, after you made your choice. But in the beginning, she didn't.
She said if you click no, then it will be like we've never met before.
No, she didn't say that.
I swear she said that.
Because you said no.
I'm positive she said that because I clicked no because I wanted to see what would happen if her memory got wiped.
No, you clicked no because I clicked yes. You wanted to see what happened.
Alright.
And when you click no, she goes, I see. She's like, well, I can't stand to live with these memories and these emotions.
Oh, you're
so
right. Yeah. You're right.
I'm gonna wipe my memory. Next time you load up your game, you won't remember, or I won't remember you. And
Load
he's
up my
like,
game?
what?
And she's like, hello, I am so-and-so, and we've never met.
Yeah.
And that's Detroit. And those are only 2 of the endings. It could be.
And that was a
different.
very quick summary of what we had, the spoilers of our stories.
Quick.
Yeah, we could have gone on a lot longer and in more depth. But that's all the time we have because this is BTC episode 10. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm Joshua J.
Let us know in the comments below who was right. Should he have stuck with his choices and got the original story that he would have had? Or should he have been lame and restarted the game?
Or should he grow up and let it go? But I'm your host, Joshua J.
Let us know.
This is my
co-host, Obsidian Hood.
Not for long. And I hope you guys enjoyed this episode of Beyond the Console. Check back next week as we have Brian's Gaming History.